Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics here. Hope you're all doing well. If you are a new viewer to this YouTube channel and you haven't done so already, and I highly recommend you do so, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button down below. It shows your support for the content that I do, and it's much appreciated as well. And yeah, it's also absolutely free, doesn't cost anything at all. And make sure you like this video as well, click the thumbs up on the video, and click the bell so you are notified when I upload next on the channel or when I go live. But this is going to be a Rugby League World Cup men's final preview, and it's between the Australian Kangaroos taking on Toa Samoa. This game has been played on the Sunday, the 20th of November, 2 AM Queensland time, so 3 AM New South Wales, Sydney time. And it's been played at Old Trafford in Manchester on the Saturday evening there in the UK. So this game is on Foxtel and KO in Australia, and it'll be on Spark Sports in New Zealand. So yeah, look, we're going to go through the squads now. We'll go through the Toa Samoa squad and the Australian Kangaroos squad. Now, bearing in mind that both of these sides have not named their actual 1 to 17s yet, so it's just a squad. So we'll go through them, and yeah, I'll give my overall impressions and predictions. So we'll start off with Toa Samoa. So fullback will probably be Joseph Suali'i. Brian To'o will probably be on the wing. Stephen Crichton will probably be in the centres with Tim Laffey, and Taylor May will be on the other wing. Jerome Luai will be in the halves with Anthony Milford there. So you got Royce Hunt will probably be the prop, I'm guessing. Chanel Harris-Tavita will probably be the hooker, taking over from Manu Brown, who's unfortunately been ruled out because of injury. Junior Paulo there. Then you got Lingy Sio, Jaden Sewer, and Oregon Kafusi. Then you got Josh Papali'i, Spencer Lenu, Martin Tapau, Klima Talangai, Ken Sio, and Connell Lemu. Now to the Australian Kangaroos, not Jillaroos, that's the women's side. So you got James Tedesco at fullback, Valentine Holmes will probably be on the wing. The centres will probably be Jack Wyden and Latrell Mitchell. Josh Adokar will be on the wing there, and Cameron Munster will be in the halves with Nathan Cleary. Jake Travorovich will probably be the prop, and Ben Hunt will probably be the hooker. Regan Campbell-Gillard will probably be the other prop, and Angus Crichton will probably be in the second row with Liam Martin, and the lock will be Isaiah Yeo. The bench reads Cameron Murray, Patrick Carrigan, Tino Fasumalawi, and it says Harry Grant 20, but I'm expecting Harry Grant to probably be on the bench. And Daly Cherry Evans and Ruben Cotter. Now the match official for this one, it is Ashley Klein, and the senior review official, it is Chris Kendall. So yeah, if you look at both teams and how they got to this stage of the tournament, the Australian Kangaroos obviously winning that first week in the quarterfinals, beating Lebanon pretty convincingly. Then the semi-finals was actually a lot tougher for the Australian Kangaroos. They had a pretty slow start in the first half, and then the second half I thought they got going. But look, I mean, the Kiwis, actually really frustrated the Australian Kangaroos, and it wasn't really a crisp Australian Kangaroos performance. But in saying that, world champions, even when they're not at their best, they still get up and get the result, and that's what Australia have done here. So, look, I mean, throughout the start of this tournament, Australia, no doubt about it, come into this as raging hot favourites, in my personal opinion. Regardless of a lot of people saying about the Kiwis and how good their squad was, and the likes of Tonga and that, and, I think Australia just sitting there in the background, not caring one bit that no one's really talking about them. So, look, I mean, going into this one, no doubt about it, I mean, the Australian Kangaroos no doubt deserve to be favourites, and raging hot favourites at that. Look, I mean, as for Toa Samoa, look, they had a very slow start to the tournament, obviously losing to England in that first pool match of the tournament. And look, for me, going into that game, I thought Samoa were going to be very competitive, and they were. They were simply outplayed, but the rest of their pool games was pretty much straightforward for Samoa. They convincingly got themselves into the quarterfinals, sealed themselves into the quarterfinal spots. And then they went on to beat Matama Tonga in that first quarterfinal. And then they went on to beat England last week, where it was an absolute thriller and a great game at that. And a Stephen Crichton field goal got them through to their first ever Rugby League World Cup final, which is remarkable in itself when you consider that, you know, you don't often see the teams like Samoa, Tonga or someone like that go through to a final. But look, I mean, Toa Samoa, no doubt about it, that they come into this game as massive underdogs. And look, they've had a great tournament, no doubt about it. You know, full credit to Toa Samoa. Matt Parrish has done a great job to get them to this side of the tournament. But looking at, you know, the experience and the players that Australia have, and they've been there, done it before. You know, they've been in a World Cup final. They've got the trophy. And look, I think, you know, I personally am cheering for Samoa. You know, as an underdog, I would love to see it happen. I would love to see them win the World Cup. It'd be a great story for this, you know, game of international footy. You know, it'd be awesome because I think it'd be good for a small little island like Samoa to win it. But look, I think it's going to be very difficult. Now, my question for Samoa is, have they played their grand final last week? You know, have they... You know, the emotions run high after last week's game. You know, getting that result over England. You know, that's my biggest concern. That's my biggest worry. And I think Toa Samoa as well, defensively, are still not great. You know, they still leak a lot of points as well. You know, they leaked a few tries in that first quarterfinal against Tonga. You know, they leaked a few tries against England as well. That first game of the tournament, you know, they let in a ton of points. So that's just my concern with Samoa, is the defence going into this. Because Australia, you know, if you give them that, you know, you give them the initiative, you're not going to win. You're not going to win the game. You're going to be chasing for the whole match. So, you know, I think the key for Samoa is obviously how they start the game. The first 20, 25 minutes, first 30 minutes. I mean, if Samoa are trailing by 20, 30 points to nil, I just don't see a way back for Samoa. I just think Australia will just run rampant and they'll win the final easily. But if Samoa can take it to them physically at the start, you know, kick to corners, put a little bit of pressure on Australia's outside backs. Don't give the likes of Josh Adokar any room, because he's been absolutely dangerous throughout this tournament. Leading try scorer. They need to keep him quiet. They need to put a bit of pressure on Nathan Cleary as well in his kicking game with Cameron Munster. So I think Samoa need to do all those things right to be a chance in this one. And as for Australia, look, well, you know, they're just going to play like they usually play, you know. But for me, in terms of a prediction now, as painful as it for me to say this, and I don't want it to happen because I love to see the underdog get up here, I am going to tip Australia. They're going to win the World Cup again. Reality is that they will be far too strong for Toa Samoa. Look, I think Toa Samoa can, be a little bit competitive at the start. I just think Australia will just be far too good in this final, and I think they will yet again lift the Rugby League World Cup and defend the crown. So I'm going to go Australian Kangaroos by 30 points to 10 is my score prediction. In terms of a try scorer, I'm going to say that Josh Adokar will score first, and I'll also go for an anytime try scorer of Valentine Holmes and Latrell Mitchell. For Samoa, I'm going to say anytime try scorer for me will be Brian To'o, and I'm going to go with Taylor May and Joseph Suali'i to score. But guys, that is it for my preview for the Rugby League World Cup final between Australia Kangaroos and Toa Samoa. Let me know who you're tipping in the comments below. Are you tipping an Australian win? Are you tipping a Toa Samoa upset win? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you all in the next one.